Hey guys, how's it going? I've been working more on the bike and I brought the camera out, but I did not put the chip in the camera because it was still sitting in the computer. So I continued ahead until the next time I went in the house, and then I grabbed the chip, and so I'm going to do a little bit of a catch up and kind of bring up the speed of where we are on it. I ended up putting more gussets on the back of the frame right here to support that jack shaft, because everything was just hanging off that front down tube for the seat post. So I figured I'd grab the back side of it too, and that's got 1/4 inch by 2 inch, two plates kind of going to that center perch, and it kind of gives it, you know, more strength so it doesn't want to tweak. I may box in a little bit of that, or I may not. We'll see how if it has any flexing issues. But for now, we'll just leave it the way it is. I made a new shaft for the center of it, and the one that I had in there, I kind of whittled down too much on one side, so this was a little sloppy on it. And what that is this is a drive shaft for a 35 horse Johnson outboard. It comes from the power head and drives the transmission down below. So yeah, the original one I had cut off and kind of sized up. When I drilled this out to 5/8, it was exactly 5/8. Of course, the shaft was exactly 5/8, so it was a let's say it was a press fit. So I started to take it down again, and I didn't want to overshoot it again because I'm just working on a sander. I'm not taking it down on a lathe or anything. So I was gonna drill it and pin it. Instead, I heated this puppy up and froze that guy, and then stuck them in the press, and they probably had about 20,000 pounds of pressure to squeeze them both together. So those two are pretty much married. They are not going to come apart or slip. And if they do, I could still pin it, but I don't think anything's going to have a problem with it there. And then I took, the belt was slipping somewhat, quite a bit more than I like, and I kind of figured that might be a problem with going with that smaller pulley. So I took that guy out and I stuck it back in a lathe, and I ran the knurling head around it, and that gave it some tooth. Whether that stays like that, has enough drive or not, is to be seen. And the belt was doing some stretching too. You can see that I kind of cut it twice. I already knew it was long anyway, so that was the first one. And then the second one, after I stretched it out, probably grabbed about another yo much out of it. So we're taking the links out of a belt, so to speak. And I mean, it tracks well. It doesn't slip terrible. I won't know until I actually power the bike up and ride it down the road and see how it is. It might even be a good fudge factor for having a little bit of slip, but worst case scenario, I'll get rid of the leather belt and I'll switch it over to a rubber belt. They do make serpentines up to about 2 inches wide, and this is 1.5 inches, I think, a little under 1.5 inches. So there is a replacement for that. I've done that on some other bikes, and those belts don't slip at all. So you know, as far as fixing the problem, there's a remedy for it, but I do like the look of the leather belt, so we're going to try staying with that for now and see how it makes out. Cut the seat down, got the seat mounted on back in its original location. It actually ended up being a good spot for it. It's just not bolted at the point, so that'll go on, and it kind of follows the frame head, and that makes the distance to the pedals a good amount for me. Heated up the pedals, kicked them out so that they would clear the pull start, and then on the other side you can kind of see where it's got plenty of room to clear the chains, and then there'd be a chain guard on top of that, so that one's actually kicked out a little bit even further than that. And that also makes the crank circle diameter smaller. If you heat them out and bend them, essentially you're shortening up the pedal a little bit because you're using some of that distance to go on an angle. So it actually makes it a little bit better. That swing is probably, I don't know, 2 inches short or something like that than what it used to be, and it makes it easier when you're prone on the bike and you're trying to pedal, that you're not bunched up real far and then trying to stretch real far. It's more of a comfortable pedal ride. 2 kickstands. I have one. The back one's going to stay as it is, because what it does is it gets the back wheel off the ground and you can kind of pedal it. And you can kind of see I heated this one out and kicked it out. Whether this is going to work or not, I'm not sure. But I'm going to cut the leg off the other side of it and then use this maybe as a side stand. I can kind of drop it down on the side and have both style kickstands on it. Some wrenches to support the top of the motor, keep the motor supported. They have washers welded on the back side of them, and then there's a very small hole that matches the diameter of the bolt that's in the head. You can kind of see more in here. They're nothing major, but just to try to help support the rack of the motor from going from side to side. So they came out of the junk drawer, and kind of help just square them up. If I need more, I'll go with more. I'll brace some more from you know, the plate to the frame, maybe the front and the rear, but we'll see how that stuff moves around. Gas tanks. I ordered me some gas tanks. Essentially, they're going to look something like this. They are a pair of thermoses, and we're going to go right about there with it, something like I don't know, like there. And this metal will be cut away and kind of curved to match those thermoses, and then the space in between is probably where batteries are going to sit for running some lights. And then I'll take again, like the leather strap in the back, the distance in between, and I'll run a leather strap between the two tanks so you don't see that space, and it kind of looks like the old Harleys where the two tanks are, and they fill that gap in. I'll probably do the same idea. And then you won't see any of this you know, the convoluted frame. You're going to see more like a like that kind of look. So something like that is what you're going to be seeing in the front of it. Handlebars, didn't have that many to pick from so far in the back. Thinking something like that. I'd probably go like, I'd like to have them maybe an inch taller and longer. Right now they're kind of, you know, they're just hanging off the edge of the handlebars to give them that, how would they be if they were longer, and that seems to be where it's comfortable. Just, they need to be kind of up just a little bit more though. So I'll see what I have in the hoard. If not, I can slice some up and make them fit too. So where I am right now is I decided to try to get my clutch lever set up. I got a new belt, and get my clutch lever set up from, I got a couple snowmobile blowers outside that have the little cam setups. I'll make one of those come up and be my my clutch on and off on the motor. And then again, we got to do the same with the chain and get the chain routing done on it. Well, I think that's got you pretty much caught up. I'm going to start doing something instead of talking. And oh yeah, I also added another plate to the top here, cut this section of the frame out, and so I grabbed the top of the plate to help support that again with some more weld. Alright, now I'm done talking. Take care.